Hey guys, welcome back to All Things Creative. My name is Keo and we're coming to you here from Honeycomb Manila in Double Dragon Plaza, Pasay City, Manila. And All Things Creative is a podcast where we talk to people in our community here in Honeycomb, whether it be here in the studio or in the Honeycomb art side or even on the beverage side. And today we actually have a guest who's a little bit of all of those things. So I'd like to introduce you guys to Dave Dource, who is he wears many hats, but he's the head of coffee here at Honeycomb, the head of cafe, and he's also our head trainer for all of our baristas and apprentices that come through the space. So, welcome to the show, Dave.
Hi guys, thank you for having me.
All right. So I also realized we've had Dave here in one form or another since 2020.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
like during the pandemic, we both didn't have anything to do, so so we just started hanging out here a lot,
Making videos like YouTube videos.
making YouTube videos, making just making coffee or watching
Yeah,
basketball.
yeah.
Right, that was the time of like the NBA bubble, and since then we just have kind of very organically grown in our working relationship. We've worked together for a long time now.
Yeah, since 2015 in
Yeah,
Honeycomb Cubao.
yeah, in Kendo in Cubao
Yeah,
Expo.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a long time and a long road, and we've been, both training together and working together, barista competitions, of course, but also training for clients
Yeah, I
over
remember
the
that.
years. So we can talk a lot about the history, but I want to talk more about what's going on now for you. So, what's your role like here in Honeycomb and like day to day and week to week? What do you do here?
Yeah, so day to day when I come here, I manage the coffee shop,
Hmm.
do the sales report, making sure everything is running. For the training, we have this barista apprenticeship program, which people who wants to become a barista or they planning up to put up a coffee shop, they can enroll into that class, and then they have an opportunity to become an apprentice in our cafe in Honeycomb, here in Honeycomb, for 2 months. But most of our baristas they actually extend. I've been training for 11, 12 years. Only here in Honeycomb, I realize that after the class, they need someone to coach them.
Hmm.
They need hands-on practice. So this 2 months window actually will help them to become a real barista, serving with real customers, which is difficult. And during weekends, sometimes we have this dev bar
Hmm.
and pour overdose.
Yeah, which
So
are kind of
that's
our special
yes,
events.
yes,
All right,
yes.
so we'll get into those later. Let's finish talking about the apprenticeships first because I want there to be some distinction between the concept of an apprentice and an intern, right?
Yes,
Because
yes,
like an
yeah.
intern, it's like it's more about like on the job training. It's
Mm-hmm.
part of a it for a lot of people is an entryway into a job,
Mm-hmm.
right? But with apprenticeship, what we're really looking to do is to mentor,
Yes,
right? To create
exactly,
a bigger
exactly.
family
Yes,
around
yeah.
coffee and around
Yes,
service,
yes,
right?
yes.
So where that's why when you say that people stick around for longer than 2 months, it's because they're always welcome here. Like once they're done, it's like a family. When they open up their own spots, their own coffee bars or cafes, we consider them as part of the family. We support them. We try to go to their places as well, right? And they can always come here and learn continuously. And I think that there's some distinction between that because your tendency with like internships is you become more like a gopher, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they just make you do stuff, right? They
Yes.
just make you do stuff, all the stuff they don't want to do, they'll have you do.
Yeah.
But with an apprenticeship, the things that you do on a day to day basis are the same things that they'll be doing, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
calibration, brewing, also washing and cleaning and all
Yes,
that
yes,
stuff
yes.
because it's a huge part of being a barista, which oftentimes gets overlooked or it doesn't get thought about because in our modern times, it's weird. Like we had before in like in the 80s, maybe there was no such thing as a celebrity chef. And then now you have all these TV shows, right? David Chang and Anthony Bourdain. You have all of these stars that are service people, right? And now you're starting to see that move into the beverage side of the food and beverage, both in the bartender and bar side, but also on the barista side with things like barista competitions, World Barista Championship. We have the World Barista Championship coming here in like 2 weeks, I think, and the ticket's 10,000 pesos.
Yeah.
Like I remember there was a time when they had to like invite us and to go for free.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
But the world's kind of changed around that.
Yeah.
So yeah, when the rubber meets the road for a lot of people who want to run a cafe or want to be a barista, they want that glamour or that lifestyle without being able to do the hard part, right?
Yeah.
Which is all the stuff that no one sees, right? Which you do deserve credit for, but you're never gonna get credit for,
Yeah.
right? And so apprenticeship creates the opportunity to do all of those things.
Yeah. It was actually really helpful because it's hospitality
Yeah.
job, Like someone wants to put up a cafe, but they don't realize that they have to communicate with customers. It's very, very important if you're putting up your business to be immersed first in a real cafe, do the cleaning and everything. And also, I believe that 60% of your learning is based on your mentor. You need to have a mentor. 20% experience, 20%, reading and stuff. But if you don't have like not really mentor sometimes, but like you kind of idolize someone. I want to
Yeah.
be like this, diba? So that goes your path. It's very, very important.
So we have the start of the apprenticeship program. Before we just had straight up workshops, right?
Yes,
Barista
yes.
workshop.
Yeah.
You could join just the workshop. Now our focus really is on the apprenticeship, and the workshop is just the first 2 days.
Yep.
Because what we learned is that okay, you can just do the workshop, and then they'll leave and they won't be able to do anything,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Because like it's too much information actually. Like that's the thing that I've really learned is that it can really be too much information to take a barista class, take a coffee class, and then need to remember even the basics, the weights, the times, right? What it's supposed to look like,
Yeah. Workflow.
workflow, what it's supposed to taste like, and all of those things are things that you can work on a day-to-day basis, right? Or even things like just knowing that you can make adjustments of 1 second or half a second or
Yes,
1 gram,
yes.
2 grams. You're not going to learn it in a 2 day class, right? What you're going to see in a 2 day class is here is the perfect one, right?
Yeah.
You'll have a trainer who can
Yeah.
show you, here's what the perfect one looks like. And then they'll go and they'll try it and they won't be able to make a perfect one. And they're by themselves at home or wherever. Maybe they were able to get a job because they had a certificate. And then they'll be lost on the job
Yeah.
because they
That's
don't
true.
know what it
Yeah.
looks like. So other than the barista apprenticeships, we on the other side have Dev Bar.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
very new now for us.
So Dev Bar is basically on the cocktail side,
Yep.
and it's an attempt to make all of us create a creation, at least
Yeah.
one creation every month, and then we'll serve it to the public. So
Mm-hmm.
people buy tickets, and there are three of us. We make 4 drinks, and you pay a fixed price for all of those drinks, and you show up, and it's our opportunity also to practice ourselves, right? And serve how to run a bar, how to serve your drinks, how to explain the
Yep.
drinks.
Yeah.
When I train for Brewers Cup, when I train for coffee competitions, I train with many different coffees. Usually, you just train one coffee. This is my coffee. Here is my spiel. But I found like the best training is always just whatever coffee you have, even if it's not a competition, you practice presenting it. So you read the label, you say it to the customer,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Even if I'm by myself at home, I'm thinking about all those things, right? What am I gonna say? On the dev bar side, that's an opportunity for us to do that. But with cocktails, there's a variance in craft, right? Per drink, right? With coffee, it shows up, it's roasted, and you're only going to do one of three things to it, right? You're going to brew it in an espresso machine, you're going to do a pour over, right? Maybe you're going to do a pour over ice, or maybe it's already pre-prepared as like a cold brew or something. There's only a few things
Yeah.
that you're gonna do. But in Dev Bar, there's a lot of prep work, right? If you're doing something like fat washing, it takes days, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sourcing, it takes days, right? And then we're very conscious about trying to get our pricing correct, right?
Yeah.
The cost of goods correct. And so all of that is just a constant exercise for us to be able to explore. Our next Dev Bar is gonna be,
November 17th.
yeah, which might be after this comes out or before it comes. I don't know. But we're looking at probably November 17 for our next Dev Bar. Concept is just like wildest imagination,
Yeah.
right? So our first one, we did Friday the 13th, which was horror. So we all did something that was kind of a little bit scary. And then in different ways, different people have different understandings of scary. And then on this one, we're just having like wildest imagination. Then, of course, December will be some sort of Christmas concept,
Yeah.
right? So outside of Honeycomb, because you have other stuff that's going on, you're not just here.
Yeah.
What else is happening for you now?
I have two other businesses, which is a small cafe. So I'm partnering one cafe in Bonifacio Global City. It's a Black Eye Coffee. It's actually inside the Japanese bakery. So we serve coffee there. Very straightforward coffees. If you're in BGC, drop by in Aria Plaza. It's just type Panonymous. So it's a good pair.
Panonymous with a P.
Panonymous, yes. Yeah. Panonymous. So, it's a good pair, bread and coffee. So we close at like 7 or before 7 because sometimes sold out yung the breads. All right. And then I have this other small bike coffee cart in Ermita. It's in front of Court of Appeals. We call it Patio Pilar. Patio Pilar is an events place. So we do also workshops there, like home brewing workshops during weekends. But during weekdays, we serve coffee with our coffee cart. So the coffee is really cheap. It's 95 pesos.
Oh, huh.
Yeah, but it's single shot coffee. You can ask for a double shot, which is extra, 35 pesos. So
So how does that
equivalent.
work? They have a different portafilter? Or?
No, most of our shots, so we split it. So we use
Got
that other shot for cold drinks.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
that's how we do it.
Nice.
So and then we will have our glamping cafe with Pathfinders PH, which is in Tanay Rizal. So if you're into glamping, you like nature, so
Outdoors.
outdoors. So our plan is 80%, or if we can do 100%, like zero electrical, but just using like solar lights if we
Okay.
can. We're trying to do that now.
I thought you were gonna say like camping stoves and fire.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So and then aside from that, you're also a competitive barista.
Yes,
A competition
if
barista.
I can join all competitions, I will join them. But
'Cause you just did the roasters thing.
yeah,
and-
I did the roasting competition in Cagayan de Oro. It's
what
really
was the name?
good. Philippine Coffee Competitions.
Oh, it's just PCC. It's an organizer.
No, it's not Filipino Coffee. It's a different org. It's a different org.
Okay.
Okay, hosted by Filipino Coffee Competitions.
And why is it that you always join? Because at the Philippine Brewers Cup, which was 3 months ago or
Yeah.
so, you said, and I quote, even if I'm 60 years old, 70 years old, you'll still see me competing
Yeah.
here.
I think it's catching the trend.
Okay.
That's number one. Second,
Meaning you always want to be up to date.
yes, yeah, it's a good practice if you wanna know the trend and everything. You meet a lot of people there, make friends, make enemies. Also, I'm very competitive person. Like, I think I will not function how I function now if I don't compete at least twice a year, once or twice a year.
So it's been many years you've been competing. What are the things that you think you learned in competition that maybe you couldn't have learned elsewhere?
It's like a chasing a dream, eh? Because that's the only avenue as a barista where you can uh improve your skills by competing with other baristas. So it's squeezing all the ideas that
It's
you
head
have.
to head.
Yes, it's a head to head. So I think that's most of part that you will not be able to learn if you just work in a cafe.
Like, what's the process for you in preparing for a competition, given that you do it all the time, right? So, what's the process? How do you select coffees? This kind of thing.
Yeah. So way back before pandemic, I only use local coffee
Okay.
because I want to promote local products. But now it changes because of after pandemic. There's a lot of really good coffees that our coffee here cannot be able to compete in a world stage. Before it was about your skills, like how good you are, how consistent you are, how you present yourself. Now it's only like 20%.
Really?
Yes, because everyone is really good. Everyone
Yeah.
practice really well. Even like a home barista can do like uh better than a regular barista because everyone has their own machine at home.
Yeah.
They can practice. Now it's about coffee. Like it's about the taste.
Selecting the coffee
Yes,
and
it's yeah.
bringing that out.
Yeah, but I hope I can find a local coffee that can compete in the world stage. That was my dream. My dream is and my dream and my goal is to become a world champion using a local coffee. Until now, it's still there, but I don't know when it's gonna happen. But I wanted to be there
You think
with the
there's
coffee.
you think there's a realistic timeline for that in terms of
I
number of
think
years?
there is a realistic timeline.
Call it.
Yeah. Probably 5 years from now,
Okay.
I would say,
Yeah.
with the local coffee because I think it's you can compete in the world stage, but without having a goal, like just competing, be there, like a vacation, right? But it's not like that for me. It's like having a goal, having like it's like a project, diba? It's like uh promoting local brand. That's my goal. But I would say for now, I'm gonna focus more on looking good coffee. If there's a good local coffee, I'll use it. So hopefully next year, Honeycomb will support me in competition. Because it's not promoting myself. It's more of promoting the people around you because it's a team, right? No one can compete by their own. It's
Yeah.
like 50% or less than 50%. But the backup support is really, really important. Now, I decided to not use local coffee because I'm using a local design brewer. At least I have like Philippine in me. Yeah,
Representation.
representation.
Yeah. So, what was the experience like this time around?
This time, every year, if you compete, it's not like only competing by with yourself or versus other baristas. It's competing with the trend and with the judges. It's like that.
Yeah.
I think 80% of your succession depends who is your head judge and the judges
Your success. Yeah. Yeah.
success to win
Yeah.
is 80% based on your theme might be the best team in the entire competition. But if they are not looking with that, like one barista went to semifinals. I brew with this guy in the roasting competition. I asked him what's the process of your coffee. He said he doesn't know.
Hmm.
He didn't even tell the judges what's the process. But he came to the semifinal. He came to
You got the
semifinals.
semifinals. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really weird. Like you're competing with not just yourself, the trend, but with the judges.
Yeah.
It's like that.
So I think that's something that I realized a lot more this year is that judge selection is oftentimes, well, first you just apply to be a judge,
Yeah.
right? So almost anyone can become a judge. And, it's not just here. Like Maxwell Colonna Dashwood reported that it happened in London where he went to a coffee competition and he was a judge. But he was also there with another guy who was not a competent judge. So he talks to the guy, and the guy says, "Oh, I just signed up because I started distributing a cups brand. So he's selling cups for someone already in the industry." He said, "I figured by becoming a judge, I can just show up and meet a lot of people in the industry if I'm here." So he just paid to take the 2-day seminar to become a judge. He took the seminar and then he was there judging for a national champion. Right? But the guy knew nothing about coffee, he knew nothing. He just paid. They let him in, and he was a judge. So it's not a local problem. That's a global problem with kind of the state of coffee competitions. Is that judge selection is needs to be dialed in. Is probably the best way to put it, right? I think the thing that really gets looked over, in my opinion, is that we select really good coffee professionals who maybe are really good at uh, brewing, serving, tasting coffee, right? From some of the best organizations in the country, but they're not necessarily the best communicators. And so, in a competition, which is in theory half coffee and half communication, because you're trying to find an ambassador, right? You're trying
Yes.
to find an ambassador for your country who will be your country's champion. And then your country's champion vies to be the world ambassador for coffee, who will represent specialty coffee to the entire world. Um, and that's, for the most part, a communication job. Because once you're the world ambassador, you can only be so many places. So the ability to communicate it through media, online, through interviews becomes even more important, not just to coffee as a culture, but also to the stakeholders. And I think that's one of the things that gets frustrating to me is that it's like we put a lot of our lives and investment onto this thing, and it's at the mercy of judges.
Yeah.
So
I can be a judge anytime. You can be a judge anytime. If I wanted to support the community, I'm trimming down still a competitor. They invite me to become a judge so many times. But the thing with being judges, if you judge this year, can't compete for I think 1 or 2 years. Which is
well, so it's 12 calendar months,
oh yeah.
is what I
Okay.
remember.
Yeah.
The problem is, what if they schedule it like 1 week, 2 weeks before
Yeah. It's
your
hard.
judging
Yeah.
lapses? You're stuck. You can't compete.
Yeah, that's true. I think the org should really focus on not competing locally, but honing someone to represent the
Yeah.
country. I think it's should be like that.
Yeah, we're looking for a national team.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that really should be. I agree with that. I agree with that. It's often not thought of that way. Like, I don't have a better way to describe it, but sometimes winning the local competition and going to the global competition is treated as the prize.
Yeah. No.
But it's just the next step.
Yes, yes.
Have you ever made coffee for like anyone really famous?
Really famous. I can't remember any actually. Can't remember any uh maybe
Oh,
pop
go ahead. Go ahead.
like published, I don't know, but I've been to like celebrity events, like even sport events,
Hmm.
but I haven't seen them like this guy like make my coffee. No,
Got it.
yeah.
Yeah. Although, actually, yes, you're right because like, probably for me, the famous one that is most memorable for me, we were together.
Yeah.
Was Jet Carriazo,
Oh yeah, yeah.
right? At
Yeah.
the LeBron,
Event.
the
Yeah.
LeBron sneaker launch.
Titan event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. There's lots of good food.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and people really liked our coffee. I like
yeah.
that part. I was like, people like the coffee. How about but that's a different setup because it's more of like a pop-up. So it's
Yes,
fast
yeah, yeah,
moving.
yeah.
Is there anyone
Hired me to make
okay,
like
let's say not famous or celebrity, more like significant. Like is there a cup of coffee that you made for someone and you felt like this moment was significant?
hmm, interesting. Um, I don't have any actually. That's really hard. Yeah,
Now how about this? If you had the opportunity, because it takes a while to brew a really good cup of
yeah,
coffee,
yeah,
right? So if you had 15-20 minutes to brew a cup of coffee and share that moment with anyone ever.
yeah. I have this dream making coffee for Steph Curry. Like I'm not crazy. Please don't judge me. But I have this dream. Sometimes my dream became true. I have this dream making cup of coffee with Steph Curry. Like it's an event. I just make this coffee. He just passed by, ordered the coffee, and gave just like that. Nothing
It's not
like
unrealistic, eh?
yeah,
Like that's the kind of thing that can happen.
yeah. Hopefully,
I mean, like when he's here with his brand,
yeah.
right? He's here with Curry brand. He like plays basketball
I
in
would love
Kerry
to.
Sports, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So he's just there. And
yeah. Hopefully it happened. Yeah,
okay.
it was that would be my significant moment.
Would you ask him anything?
No, I don't wanna ask anything. Just like I know I the thing is in this dream, okay, he tastes the coffee and he says it's really good, and then he walks away. Just like that. Very
That's
specific.
it.
I'm making coffee in a pop-up event. I don't know what event is this. He just passed by.
Oh, you're saying it's a literal dream. Like
Yes.
you're asleep and
Yes, I'm
oh,
asleep. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So he just passed by, ordered this coffee. Can I have this? I don't know what coffee is it. They said coffee. Oh, it's really good. Thank you. Then hopefully it happens.
I hope so too. I hope so too.
Yeah.
All right. So here in Honeycomb, it's a community, right? There are lots of people who work and move through our space
Yeah.
every day. What's something that you think we can do to strengthen the community and allow for people to connect better with each other?
I think what we're doing is really good. What we can do more is I don't think because we're very chill in here. That's the best vibe in Honeycomb is that we're chill. We're not trying to prove anything to anyone. We're just doing what we love to do. Um Things we can improve. I don't think that we need to improve anything as of the moment. We're doing a lot.
It
Like
happens in real time.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think since I'm in a coffee site, Honeycomb should be in a coffee farm, which I feel it's gonna happen soon. So that's what we're lacking is like we really need to give back the community because this is like a service industry. We have to serve everyone. We go back to the community, to the farmers, having like serving coffee that is helping the farmers.
That'd make a really nice field trip.
Yeah.
It's like have right,
Yeah.
invite everybody. Hey, let's all go on
Oh
this
yeah,
mountain. We'll look
yeah,
at,
yeah,
everyone
yeah,
who's
yeah,
here, right? Like you like usually you'll have like summer camp or something like that.
yes, yes.
But instead we'll have like a winter camp.
Yeah, I
'Cause
love to do
coffee
that. Yeah,
harvesting
I
season
love to
is-
do that. Yeah,
Right? And then
yeah.
we'll drink coffee. Yeah, that'd actually be really nice. All right. How about so we're coming to the end of our interview and something that we do kind of as a tradition is if you are going to ask the next person who will speak to in the podcast a question. So that person will be like you, someone from our community, one of the companies that works here, or a regular, or whoever. What would you ask that person?
One question.
Yeah, just one question to
Yes.
someone in the community.
Ooh, it's hard because I think most of the good questions already been taken. But it's like what's next for Honeycomb? are we like branching out? Do you think we can go other places? Uh, I think that would be a good question. Like,
As a
yeah,
community. Okay.
as the community, um, is it good for Honeycomb to like have a second branch or something?
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting question. I'm very challenged by that question. All right. Anything else you want to cover? You want to plug? We talked about all your
Oh
businesses.
yeah, yeah. Just follow me on my socials. It's
Okay.
Dave Dexter Dource. I have FB and Instagram. Just that's it. And if you wanna enroll, if you wanna be a barista, come by here first. Join our pour overdose so you can see the place. We can have good coffee. We can talk about any business about coffee from like we were going to have maybe greens in the
Mm-hmm.
future, from greens to like roasted to putting up your coffee shop.
Dave
Anything
seems
about coffee.
Dave seems really eager to talk about this thing that I'm not talking about.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. But pour overdose. Pour overdose. If you don't know what a pour overdose is, it's our coffee tasting session and system. And you can find it on our YouTube page. We do live streams sometimes. So if you back read through our channel, you can find a pour overdose and see an example of what it's like. It's very simple. We just brew lots of coffees and talk about them. It's also really good training if you want to be a
Good coffee taster.
good coffee taster and a good competitive barista because it allows you to taste many things um, and it puts you in the mode of communication all the time that you need to know how to be willing to say what you're tasting and what you're how you're brewing and all of this stuff. Talk about farmers, producers, and processes. All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Dave.
Thank
It's
you.
been a
Thank
good
you.
chat with you. And you can find us here in Honeycomb every day.
Yep.
All
Every
right.
day.
Thanks for
Yeah.
joining us, guys. It's been all things creative. Peace.